friend of mine. He's from Ann Arbor, and he's been doing stand-up for the last 4 years in clubs across the country. He is the co-founder and producer of the wildly popular comedy experiment shows at the Beer Grotto in Dexter, Michigan, every Tuesday. So if you're out that way, you want to check out his shows. He is well known for his quick wit, offbeat observations, and sneaky innuendos. Let's hear it. My friend, he'll soon be yours, Greg Sharp.
Look at all of you! How are you? It's wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for coming out. I gotta watch my time. I just took a gummy before I came out here. I don't know when it's gonna kick in. Not a pot gummy, it was a melatonin. I could be asleep before the end of this. Let's see how it goes. How you doing? You look good? Oh, everybody's great out there. Thank you so much for being here. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I watch too many movies. My favorite movie from the 80s, maybe it's yours too, is Top Gun. We got any Top Gun fans out there? I love it. My favorite one. There's a new one coming out. I can't wait. Top Gun taught us that fighter pilots have all the coolest nicknames. You remember their nicknames? Tom Cruise's character, they called him Maverick because he was a maverick. It's a little on the nose, right? He didn't like rules, that guy. And then there was Iceman. They called him Iceman because he had a really icy disposition. He wouldn't have a nice conversation with you. He wouldn't go out for coffee with you unless it was an iced coffee. And then there was Goose. And they called him Goose because he ended up splattered on the windshield of an airplane. Also a little on the nose, if you ask me. I am an awkward person. I have awkward interactions almost everywhere I go. Thank you so much for that. I had an awkward interaction tonight. When I got here, I went into the restroom, and this is pretty common in the men's room. There's always a couple of urinals, and there's usually like a tall urinal for the regular-sized humans, and then there's always the one short one for any kids that come to this club, apparently. I don't know what that's for. But there was already people at all the tall ones, so I went in there and I was standing at the short one, and I said, "Oh, yours is bigger than mine." Sorry about that, sir. I was sitting up front. I've been doing a little bit of traveling recently. I stayed at this hotel, and they did not tell me when I made the reservation, but there was a meetup going on that weekend for people with vestigial tails. You know what those are? Those are people with tails. That's a real thing. Oh, we got any here? No, you don't have to self-identify yourselves. But it's a real thing that people have. Some people are born with tails. And there was a whole bunch of them there at that hotel that weekend, and I got to meet a few of them. I went down to the hotel bar. We had some drinks, and they kept knocking mine off the table. Right. That's about the right response to that, I think. No, I was traveling for my sister's wedding. My sister just got married. It was actually her second wedding, but it's not what you think, because her first wedding was during lockdown when nobody was allowed to go to it, so then they just did it all over again, which I thought was nice. It was a nice idea. And I think my sister's whole thing was like, we should do it again. Maybe we'll get some presents this time. No, I got to go to the first one too. It was a really perfect wedding. It was the most perfect wedding I've ever been to because it was just really small and intimate. It was in my brother's backyard. And then they did the second wedding, and they did everything the same. Like they had the same minister, same vows, same dad walking my sister down the aisle. I don't know, I thought that was a perfect opportunity to change up some of those old traditions. What do you think? It's like, why not mix it up a little bit? Why not use the second wedding as the opportunity to have the mom walk the groom down the aisle for once? Doesn't it make much more sense to you? I think it makes more sense. Because that's all a wedding is anyways. It's just a groom going to meet his new mom. A lot more women laughing at that joke than the men, I've noticed. Some of us are just now realizing that's all marriage is. You're just hoping to find somebody who cuts your grilled cheese into the same triangles that mom used to. Yeah, so the second wedding was great too. It was actually really lovely, but we got to do the party afterwards, and that's my favorite part because there was dancing. We got to do the dancing. It's my favorite part of the wedding. And they did that song that they do at every single wedding reception. I'm sure you all know it too. You know you make me wanna. Is that as good as you can do? You know you make me wanna. Put your hands up in. There we go. Now we're having a good time. I love that song. I love dancing to that song. Actually, I used to. But now I'm in my 40s and it's getting a little bit more difficult, right? Because it gets to that part where it goes, it's a little bit softer now. It's a little bit softer now. And I'm like, no, I think it's soft enough. So, no, it's a little bit softer now. It's a little bit softer now. I'm like, I hear that happens to everybody. Oh, good, it's a little bit louder now. Good. Now, let me tell you a little about myself. I get these bracelets out. If you see me after this show, I'll give you one. They say I'm glad you're here on them because I deal with depression. I'm a depression guy. I deal with that every day of my life. So I just like to come out here and make people giggle. That's what I do to help myself feel good, like my life has a little bit of meaning. So thank you all so much for coming out here. If there's none of you out there, then I can't get to do this. So thank you so much for that. And I got a whole bunch of bracelets, so come up and see me after the show. Thank you so much. All right, let's get back to the jokes. I think I have $1 million idea. I'll take investors after the show too if you're interested. No, I really love this idea. I want to start making boats out of recycled Axe body spray bottles. We're going to call them douche canoes. It's a $1 million idea. Anybody gotten a facial lately? Nobody knows how to answer that question anymore. Oh, Scotty did. All right, Scotty, you get a bracelet. There you go. No, if you don't, I think it's just gotten awkward because we all now know that facials are two different things. Those are two very different things, right? Because there's the facials that you pay somebody to give you at a salon. It's very professional, and then you come out of there and your skin looks better. And then there's the facials that are kind of a surprise, right? Those are different. But also I hear, make your skin look better. No, we just need to change the name of at least one of those, I think. It's gotten too awkward. Because I was on the phone with my mom the other day, and she told me, oh, I had a beautiful day, went and got a facial. That ruined my whole week. Nobody wants to hear that at all. No, we just need to change the name. It would be kind of like if we started calling midget orgies quarter pounders. How long do you think it would take them to change the name of the quarter pounder? I think McDonald's would do it the very next day. I told you, it's awkward. The world confuses me, all right? Everything about the world is confusing. Like simple things like turnstiles. Like, we didn't walk through any turnstiles here, but some places, like Ball Game or Cedar Point, or Menards for some reason? Why does Menards have turnstiles? I don't get it. Like, some places are just like, look, you can't come in here until you rub your crotch on our pole. Menards is stupid. Do you agree with me? Like, I don't get it. Thank you. Lowe's makes sense. Home Depot, very straightforward stores. Menards feels Canadian, right? It's just different in here. There's just something off. I don't get it. Like, they sell everything that you would expect at a hardware store. You can get plywood there, but you can also buy milk. Who's going to Menards to buy milk? Probably the same people that are going there to buy the romance novels. You can get those there too. I get milk, romance novels, and plywood all in the same shopping trip. But I can't get any of them until they rub Menards on their pole. You've been a lot of fun. I'll leave you on this one. I have weird interactions everywhere I go, like at the deli. Because they always ask me questions that I don't know the answers to. Like, how thick do you want that? I don't know how to answer that question. Does anybody know how to answer that question? I have no idea how to answer that question. How thick do you want it? How thick does everybody else want it? Just a regular thickness is just regular, just normal, whatever everybody else is getting. I don't know how to answer that question. Because there's not a number system, there's no frame of reference, there's no way to answer How thick do you want that? I don't know. All I know is that I don't want to be known as the guy at Kroger who likes his meat extra thick. So I've been trying to get back at them. I've started ordering things that they can't answer. I'll take a week's worth of provolone. Give me 5,000 calories of the potato salad. And I'll take twice as much salami as the next guy wants. And slice it all lengthwise. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you.